This is an alternate scenario video of a Diz Pros Wixo where everything goes perfect for the United Kingdom of Eastern Europe. The style is heavily inspired by Dutch Empire mapping and Altsine mapping. But without further ado, let's get into the video. We start in episode 10, when the farmers in the rural areas of Poland, Balticia, Bulgaria, and Crimea rebel and attempt to form the Farmers' Union. At first, this movement gains a lot of traction between the farmers in the rural region of these countries. But then, unlike our timeline where they united after the Farmers' Union gained independence, Poland, Balticia, and Russia all unite to form the United Kingdom of Eastern Europe to combat the farmers' movement. They and Bulgaria will now defeat the Farmers' Union pretty easily. In the peace treaty, the farmers' movement gets split between the UKEE and Bulgaria. As farmers in the country are still rebellious, the UKEE makes many reforms in the country as well as giving some rebellious provinces on the border of St. Petersburg and the Dutch to those countries. Also, a large amount of provinces in northern Crimea decide to join the UKEE, leaving the rest of the country crippled, and it moves diplomatically closer to Mesopotamia. When Norway and Sweden gain independence from the Dutch, the UKEE supports Norway, gaining a key ally in Scandinavia. They decide to form the hard alliance between them and Norway, but Crimea and Mesopotamia also form an alliance, being the Diamond Alliance. Norway, Sweden, and Finland all expand north, as Norway and Sweden begin a race to take as much land as possible. However, the UKEE sets up a meeting in Kaliningrad where all three countries agree to divide the rest of Scandinavia. However, there are still tensions between Norway and Sweden. Sweden and Finland both join the Diamond Alliance. As a result of this, tensions start to rise between the Diamond and Hard alliances. St. Petersburg joins the United Kingdom of Eastern Europe, as well as Arkhangelsk joining them instead of creating a new country. However, Novgorod still forms as an independent country. Additionally to this, Greece unites and Switzerland collapses. Finland tries to expand around the UKEE's border. However, they are stopped, and the UKEE funds a rebellion in Caucasia, which ends up being successful. The Great Mediterranean War occurs. However, the UKEE stays neutral, despite having good relations with Bulgaria. The outcome is similar to our timeline, so I didn't map out the war. On the alliance map, the Star Alliance no longer exists. We also see Bavaria form, as well as Volgograd getting divided between Caspia and Crimea, with the rest becoming Kazakhstan. The expansionist leader takes power in Mesopotamia, and his first act as leader is invading Caucasia, which goes successfully. Next, they add Montenegro to their alliance and invade Greece together. And they end up splitting the country between themselves. Next, they decide to add Tuscany to their alliance as well and invade Rome from three sides, which Rome obviously loses and gets divided in three pieces. However, this is seen as a breaking point for many countries, as a coalition forms against the Diamonds, including Norway, the Dutch, Bavaria, Genoa, Slovenia, Bulgaria, and the United Kingdom of Eastern Europe. Europe has had enough of Mesopotamia. That will be all for Part 1. Part 2 will finish the coalitions as well, as include World Wars I, II, III, and IV. This is my first time doing this style of video, so if you have any critiques, please let me know. Anyway, Low Taper out.